If you're a boxing fan and never want to miss a fight, Boxing Showtimes is the app you need. This is a professional boxing schedule in your pocket that keeps you up to date on what's going on in the world of boxing. Enjoy watching fights in a bar, sipping a cold one? We got you. An interactive map with your local boxing bars is available to you at any time. And that's not everything. Set reminders, buy tickets, watch official highlights, get boxing news, and so much more. Download now. Thank us later.
All right, bit of breaking news with regards to Anthony Joshua. Now, I have to say, I'm reading this, and I'm kind of, in one sense, I'm not surprised, but in another, I am. So, this is according to the Daily Star Sports, and it says, Anthony Joshua is reportedly set to have Ben Davison as his main trainer in the corner for the Otto Wallin fight on December the 23rd, though it's claimed he plans to return to work with Derek James again afterwards. I don't know if that's a good idea. I can kind of see the rationale behind it. Maybe in Joshua's mind, he's thinking, okay, Ben Davison has trained someone to beat Otto Wallin, and maybe he knows, kind of obviously Tyson Fury. He was in Tyson Fury's corner against Otto Wallin. And maybe he's thinking in his mind, well, Ben Davison would know more about this. That's the only thing that's the only kind of logical assumption I can come to as to why he would do this. Because he's looked fine with Derek James in terms of, from a technical point of view. He seems comfortable with Derek James. Yeah, Eddie Hearn let slip that, he has been taking over with Ben Davison in the UK. But, AJ was in Texas with Derek James a couple of weeks ago at the Grand Prix. Obviously they weren't at the Grand Prix together. He was there to support Alpine, who he has a stake in, but he was back in the gym with Derek James straight after. So what does that mean? Is he going to base I would assume yes, he's going to base the rest of his camp in the UK, in Ben Davison's gym, and apparently he's going to go. I don't get that. No disrespect to Ben Davison, he is a good trainer, but AJ needs stability in that team. And you could say, he has been, not in a main trainer role. The only rationale I can have behind this is as I said, Ben Davison has trained a fighter to beat Otto Wallin, and maybe AJ is thinking, well, Ben Davison has trained a fighter, Tyson Fury, to beat Otto Wallin in a very competitive fight, it has to be said. That's what I need, rather than, Derek James. I can't make heads or tails of it. I really can't. When I seen this break, I was like, what? In one sense, I'm not surprised, because AJ has talked about, even before the Jermaine Franklin fight, he talked about maybe training with this trainer, training with that trainer. I at the time, I said that's a bad idea. If one trainer's working well with you, he's bringing out certain things in your game, his jab is looking good, his footwork's looking particularly good with it, as a result of Derek James. I think there's more improvements from a technical point of view that can be made. Davison, James, Sugar Hill Stewart, Peter Fury, etc., etc., etc. I don't think any of them could fix AJ in terms of mentally. That's something that he's going to have to do himself. And I'm wondering, are we getting even further away from that now if he's going and just saying, right, well, I'm going to be Ben Davison for this. That's just, I don't see that as a good recipe for success long term. I don't. And, I'm really kind of, as I said, in one sense, I'm not surprised, because after hearing he was in training with Ben Davison, I was kind of thinking, would he start thinking, it's closer to home, it's this, that, and the other, and go with Ben Davison? And look, as I said, Ben Davison is a good coach. He certainly is. He gets a lot of flack, unfairly, I feel. He's definitely done wonders with Lee Wood. No one's going to really argue with that. But, I don't know. It's a strange one. Like, as I said at the start of this video, in one sense, I'm not surprised, but in another sense, I'm kind of looking at it just like, what? So close coming up to a fight like this, and you've been with James, training with him pretty much all year, as the main guy. And how is the relationship with Derek James going to be after that? In a sense of, AJ and Derek James seem to get on quite well. Now it's a case of, right, well, I'm going to be with him for this fight, and I'm going to be back with you for that fight. I'm looking at that like, just again, I'm looking at this like, what? Really? And again, I reiterate this point. The only thing I can think of is that in AJ's mind, well, Davison has trained someone to beat Otto Wallin, whereas Derek James hasn't. So therefore, I'm going to be in. Listen, I think that's a very kind of, how would I describe it? Look, that might not be the reason. I'm only making assumptions there. It's the only logic I can come up with. But if that is the reason, that's a very kind of flimsy-ish reason. You know, I wouldn't be, basing going to a trainer off, well, he trained Tyson Fury to beat Otto Wallin, so therefore he can do the same for me. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't. I'm looking at that just thinking, really? Do you disagree with me? Because look, I'd be interested to hear if you do. If you think that actually, do you know what, Derek James, get rid of him. Ben Davison is better. Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Just really, really surprised to be seeing this. I really am. And if he does take an L, I'm saying if he does take an L against Otto Wallin, Ben Davison, I'm not saying it would be right, by the way, but Ben Davison is going to absolutely get it if he loses against Otto Wallin. He'll probably be the one who'll take the brunt of it, I would imagine. That's not to say it's right, but I would imagine that might be the case. And yeah, just strange one. I really have to say, very strange one. Was not expecting that in the slightest. Was kind of settling down for the evening, thinking, right, let's plan ahead for tomorrow. I might have to do a car video. Thinking of bringing the mic to work tomorrow, and whenever we get news of the car and stuff, doing a quick 10-minute car vid or something like that. Well, clearly not. I sat there for the evening and I see this. It's like, out with it, like Kent Brockman over here bringing you the breaking news. And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. I feel like that sometimes, Kent Brockman breaking the news in boxing. No, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know yours. Interesting. Only broke in the last few minutes as well, so fresh in the mind. So let me know your thoughts. Just hit the like button if you could. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, I will leave it with that. Peace.